Ahoy everyone, welcome to another episode of the O Show. I'm O and I'm here for your amusement. Alrighty guys, we are here with another entry to this thing called the TCU, which is the Twisted Childhood Universe, right? And within it, we have this thing called the Pooniverse. Why is it called so many things? So, in this entry, we have Bambi the Reckoning. Now, this is following, let's see, we got the two Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movies, and we have Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, I think is what it was called. Okay, so first of all, this movie is just like the other ones. It's only in the theater for like 5 some days. So, it may or may not still be in the theater by the time you see this review. And what's so weird is if you're from Chicago, the theaters by me weren't showing this movie. I had to go all the way to Schaumburg for some reason to see this. And then they had the nerve to have only a 2 p.m. and a 10:30 p.m. movie. Like, okay, who do you think you are? two exclusive times. Okay, so anyway, I had time to think about what I watched. And I'm going to say this movie is interesting. Okay, it's not busy, right? I've seen a lot of movies lately, and it's just there's so many ideas put into it. However, there are a couple ideas in this one that they did not follow up with. It just does not make any sense. But it's not a lot going on. The story is pretty simple, right? So pretty much what's happening is we get an animated opening. We see that the mother deer and the son walk through the forest, mind their own business. The mom gets shot. So now the son's on its own. It grows up. It sees a female deer. They fall in love and have a baby. So now the family is walking through the forest, yet again, mind their own business. And then the mom gets hit by a truck. And then the father deer, who turns out to be Bambi, is hit up. For some reason, he's hit upside the head with a shovel and is knocked out. Okay. And then later, it gets back up and it goes to drink some water. But I guess these guys in the truck also dumped waste in the lake, and now the lake is polluted and it's toxic, and Bambi mutates, and that's why he's looking the way he does, and he's pissed off. But here's my thing, though. Like, there was Bambi, the mother, and a kid, right? But in animation, did they even talk about the kid? Like, where'd the kid go? I guess he got kidnapped, but we find this out later. I'm pretty sure I was paying attention through this. So I actually really forgot there was a kid. He woke up, drank some water, and now he's pissed. So I was like, I totally forgot there was even a kid in the animation. So, anyway, you guys, that's why Bambi's pissed. Also because of the fact that he's mutant. He's mutated now. Okay, look, the movie's about this little boy named Benji. Kinda. Is this movie about Benji? It's not even about Benji. But anyway, there's a little boy named Benji and his mom. Now, I don't know. I forgot what country they're in. I don't even know what they say. But there is a slight accent. No one has like a huge accent that you can't understand. But the only thing I didn't understand in this movie is the mom's name. Because 75% of the time, I thought people were calling her Donna. But then sometimes I heard people say Shauna or Sana. Something like with an S, right? And I was like, well, maybe it's just the accent. And I was just kind of giving a glance over at the people in the movie to see if they did anything else. And it turns out the mom's name in this movie, which is not written down anywhere, so I don't know why they're trying to be all fancy, but it's Xana, which I guess is Shauna. Why are we being all fancy in this movie? Just call her Donna or something and get it over with. Okay, anyway. The mom and the son are in a cab, and the cab driver is talking his ass off, not paying attention to the road, almost crashes, but he ends up, like, hitting this, well, no, actually, Bambi is charging towards them. So, they flip over, the guy dies because Bambi's on top of the car, The mom and the son escape. So they're escaping, and they end up running to this house. But I guess they were actually going to this house, which is weird. So inside this house is like all these people who they don't really explain their relationship. You kind of have to figure it out as the movie goes along. There's like these two dudes. There's an asshole teenager. There's a grandmother named Mary, who I'm going to talk about in a minute. But there's like this black girl. I don't even remember her name. All I know is she had like beautiful long hair. I don't know what her relationship was. Is she a friend? Is she dating one father? I don't know. So anyway, there's this grandmother, you guys. She's in the house. She's drawing pictures of a deer over and over and over again. Of an evil deer, not a beautiful deer. She's just charcoaling on this paper sketches of a deer. So you're like, oh, does she know Bambi? Is there like a backstory between her and Bambi? No, they don't explain anything. They don't explain why this lady's drawing pictures of this deer. They don't explain why she goes outside and says the name Bambi over and over and over again. We don't know. Now, I thought it might have been something with the kid because the little boy's name is Benji. So I thought maybe she'd be like Benji or Bambi. He's like, no, grandmother, my name is Benji. And she goes, okay, Bambi. Like, I thought that would have been the joke. And then maybe later in the movie when she comes face to face with the deer, she would be like, Bambi, you know? That makes sense to me. I don't know why the writers didn't do that. However, she keeps calling this little boy Simon. So I guess Simon is the boy's father who was supposed to be there with them, but was like, no, I'm not going to make it. So it's the typical movie where the dad is a deadbeat dad and the son sees that the dad thinks the dad can't do no wrong. You know, when's dad going to be here? Well, dad would know what to do. Dad this, dad that. And doesn't know his dad is an asshole. So Bambi ends up attacking this house. We don't know why. I'm guessing because maybe he didn't kill the mom and son in the accident, so he's still like pissed about that. I don't know. He ends up running through the window and crashing into this house. And then we get a scene where they're pretty much duplicating Jurassic Park. Like, they're in a kitchen, behind a kitchen island, trying to hide from this deer. The black girl's looking around, and it's total Jurassic Park. The black girl, again, I don't know her name. She runs into the bathroom. And then, I think it was the first time the 6 people in my theater laughed at this movie because it doesn't have a handle where you push down to open the door. No, there's a round handle outside the bathroom. And this deer, with his CGI hoof, opens the door. He just rubs the doorknob. The doorknob opens. Stupid. So now I guess he can open fucking doors. He never comes up again in the movie, so I just think it was funny. It was just a one and done. But anyway, the other people managed to get out of the house and get into a Winnebago or a camper or whatever that thing is called. And, of course, like all horror movies, the car won't start, but eventually does. The black lady gets killed. She's running in slow motion, so you can just see her beautiful hair flowing. And then she gets, like, cut in half. The camper takes off, but ends up running into a tree that's underground, so they didn't get really far. But before the whole tree thing, you guys, Bambi's following them. He's running behind. Okay, now if the camper is facing this way, right? There's a door on the side, and the door flies open, and it flies open this way. But the front of the camper is this way, right? So if this camper is driving like 60, 70 miles per hour down the road, which they do show us is he's speeding, if the door flies open this way, wouldn't the door fly back closed because the wind is coming this way? Because we're driving that way. But no, we're speeding and the door goes open and now the boy is having like a hard time going, ugh. It would make more sense if the door opened this way and the wind is going that way and he goes against the wind, but that's not what's happening in this movie. So anyway, the uncle guy dies because when the trailer drives off again, when Bambi returns, it's like a cartoon. Like he's putting a rope around the tree, but before he got the rope around the tree, he has the rope on the camper, but the rope's like wrapped around his leg. So the little boy Benji has to take off because he sees Bambi coming, and the rope goes whoop, whoop, whoop around this guy's leg, and now he's being dragged while the kid is speeding away, and he's being dragged on his stomach. So now his face is getting scraped by the road, so he's dead. The asshole teenager who was like making fun of the old lady and being mean to her and had an attitude with everybody, he gets chased by Bambi. He ends up falling to some shit on the ground. And then, but then he encounters a bunny, right? Now, come on. We all know they're trying to do a thumper. If you're doing a Bambi movie and there's a rabbit getting screen time, okay. They never say thumper, but you know what's happening. So anyway, this little boy kicks this rabbit, right? And we're like, damn, that was mean. But no, the rabbit comes back and he brings like friends with him. So there's a group of rabbits. What's the group of rabbits called? Anyway, he falls backwards to a bear trap. And the bear trap traps his head. And then not only is that happening, now he's getting eaten. Very poorly CGI'd, by the way, but we see what's happening. The CGI's movie is so bad. But anyway, he gets eaten by these mutant bunnies because I guess they drank the water too. So now they got teeth and they're man-eaters, I guess. Now he's dead. Anyway, guys, what this movie is about is there are these three hunters. There's two white guys and a black guy. Apparently is this his first day? Because one of the guys is showing him how to shoot a gun. Anyway, they're hunting Bambi. We see them all through the movie, and we eventually learn that they're out there because they're trying to kill the deer. So I don't know if this is actually their main job or this is what they're doing now because of what they did. So they have like this base set somewhere with all this stuff around them, like it looks like a junkyard. So I assume that was the business before. I don't know. But since they put the waste in the lake and messed it all up, and now these animals are running crazy, they've been targeting these animals. So we see, like, you know, this one's been captured and shot, this one's been captured and shot, and I guess the last one they need to do is Bambi. So that's what they're doing. And they're going to use a baby deer as bait, right? So now, that was for us to remember, oh yeah, there was a baby. I guess this is where the baby ended up. They took it, which makes no sense, because if they just knocked Bambi out, killed the mom, why would they take the deer? I mean, Bambi wasn't mutated then. So why did they steal the deer for in the beginning of the movie? But just to put it in a cage, and now they're going to use it as bait to get Bambi to them. See, now you're just messing with my head. Just... So, anyway, Benji's dad, Simon, shows up. And, you know, the dad, or the son is all like, oh my God, Dad, you're here. But now the wife is like, wait, but why are you here, like, here at this, like, junkyard place and not at the house to spend time with your son? So I guess he's with these hunters, and he was part of the killing of the mom in the truck. Bambi, well, yeah, Bambi's, like, female friend, the baby mama. And I guess he also kidnapped the child. Anyway. Yeah, okay. So, that one black guy, he's one of the hunters. Him and this other dude bring the baby deer out to the middle of a field as bait. And the black guy's like, I gotta go take a piss. But then he walks like 1,000 feet away. So you're like, ugh, of course he's gonna die. Like, dudes pee next to each other in bathrooms at urinals. Why are you walking 100 feet away to go pee? Just turn around. You're black and you're going to die in this movie. So, that's what happens. He walks away and he hears a noise and he gets decapitated. And then another guy gets decapitated. And that's the thing about these movies in the Pooniverse. I don't know if no one is just being creative on like how can we do an awesome kill that's going to get people to like our movies. Well, we could just decapitate a head. Oh, okay. Like there's so many movies or so many people in these movies that get decapitated. Do something else. Oh, so the weirdest part about it, right? So back to this old lady Mary. So at one point she leaves this Winnebago and she goes into the forest and we see like I don't know, some graveyard of nothing but bodies and skulls. This like circle area between trees. You just see hundreds of skeletons and there's bodies. They look kind of fresh but Bambi couldn't have done that. So what is this? Is it the grandmother? No, so she's still going out there having these premonitions on things and saying Bambi and all this other stuff, but like it still doesn't explain what is her connection with this deer. They never explain it. And now you're showing us this, I don't know what it is, graveyard thing of bones. What is it, like a witch? What is it, like the Blair Witch here? It's just there. Yeah, that's the thing. Like they're trying to do something with this grandmother. It just makes no sense. It goes nowhere. Fast forward, we got a worker who tries to kill the deer by shooting a gas tank thing, and there's this big explosion, but Bambi still manages to escape. The old lady was in this building too, like in another room. She should have died in this explosion, but I guess she walked away, but we don't see it, so she comes later. Just throwing that out there. We got a showdown where the father drives away. Well, hold on, before he drives away. We have a showdown with the main bad guy hunter, the mom, the son. The son is trying to free the baby deer. Bambi shows up. The dad is a coward, so he goes away and tries to drive away, but he gets eaten by a bunny. The main bad guy ends up shooting Bambi, so that's how Bambi dies. And then he goes to try to shoot the family, but then Mary, the grandmother, out of nowhere, shoots him dead with a gun because she has a gun in her pocket? I don't know. All of a sudden, the mother or the grandmother, who has like dementia through this whole movie, snaps out of it and just kills this man, even though she keeps forgetting who the mom and Benji are. So that just made no sense, but she saved the day. The baby deer, who the mom was trying to give to Bambi to be like, here's your baby, now you can go and live happily ever after. The baby sees that Bambi's dying and gets all sad, so you're supposed to be like, oh no. But now you're thinking like, well, what's happening? Because this Pooniverse thing is bringing all these characters back. So is the baby deer going to be pissed off now in this later movie? Is that what's happening? Then they show the baby deer like howl to the moon because it's sad. When do deer howl? That's not right. These people never watch a nature show. I don't think they do that. But then the movie ends. We're at the end of the movie, you guys. Like, this movie's dumb. Now, again, like I said, I see the story. I see it. It's simple. It's whatever. But if you're gonna throw these like weird, especially with this grandmother, like make it make sense. I see he's pissed off. I'm assuming this is all taking place within a couple of days from when Bambi got hit with a shovel. Now he's pissed, and maybe it's the next day. That's when all this is now taking place, because now he's like mutated and he's mad and he wants his baby. I'm assuming that's what's happening because they don't really give you a time frame. But everything that's happening from the mom and the son get into the cab, it's all one night. So, yeah, maybe it's within the same week. I don't know. So, with all of that said, I'm not going to say this is awful. It's just, you have to kind of go in and just turn your brain off and just watch. And just, I guess, be entertained by what's happening. Now, when it comes to Bambi, I will say the design was nice. I really like the way he looks. It's not really too over the top. He's just bigger. He has sharp teeth. At one point, it looked like he had like just white eyes, but then another time he had like a pupil. Like, unless I just didn't notice that one eye is really grayed out and the other one is normal. I don't know. I thought he had like evil eyes, but they kept changing. He has like some spikes on his back. Like, he looks cool. The only thing is, just like those damn rabbits, the CGI is like awful. Now, to be fair, I'm sure they're working on a budget, but he is shown throughout this movie. It's not one of those movies where you know it's a deer, you see just a shadow, or there's going to be a glimpse of him, or when he comes face to face with a couple of the characters, which he does like twice. And, you see the snout, and he's breathing and dripping spit and all sort of stuff. Like, we see that. That's probably practical. But you see the deer throughout this whole movie. So I'll give them that. It's just that you can see that they were working with what they were working with, and they made it work, so it is what it is. It's not a big Universal movie. It's Bambi, The Reckoning. So that's what we got, and it's fine. If they just change some things and focus on this storyline of this grandmother and what the hell we're supposed to be knowing about her knowledge of this deer, that it would have been up on my level of like what they did with Peter Pan. I mean, Peter Pan wasn't a masterpiece, but you can see they took the time to add things in. They changed it and made it their own, but, yeah. So, yeah, you guys, other than that, I think that's really all I got to say. I mean, there wasn't really, like, a lot too crazy happening in this movie. I'm surprised this is the only Bambi movie so far. Like, there's all those Mickey Mouse movies, there's all those like Popeye movies that came out so far. This is like the only Bambi. And like I said, Pinocchio, did I say that before? Pinocchio is the next one coming in this whole Pooniverse. Now, I know Pinocchio has been public domain for like a while, right? There's a whole bunch of other Pinocchio horror movies, so I don't think they have any problems with that. So I guess that's the next one. I don't know exactly when it's coming out, but I will be there. Now, I really don't know what I want to give this movie. It's not getting a 1. It's not getting a 5. It's not getting a 4. So I'm on the fence of like, should I give this movie 3 shots? Or should I give it 2? But you know what? I wasn't really mad at it. It's simple. Like I said, it's a simple story. It's a simple story of revenge. Give me my child. You get a little emotional at the end, and then it just kind of ends. And Bambi's dead. Now, don't bring that Bambi back, y'all. Don't be like, in the next movie, Bambi was not dead after all. He got up. I think the flow probably could have been better. Like, after the animation, it should have been like 2 days later. Just like he had like a better idea, like what's happening. And especially like when they took the baby. Why did they take the baby for if the deer's not a mutant yet? I'm still trying to figure that part out. Like, what? Where does this baby come from? And why is it in a cage? Are you poachers? Like, I could have seen if they had other baby animals and now they maybe just took the wrong baby. Maybe they found the baby. Maybe the baby was fine. Bambi drank the water, whatever. Got all crazy. But while he was out cold, the baby was walking around and he got kidnapped. But then when we see it, there could have been a warehouse with other animals, other baby animals. Maybe they are like I said, well, not poachers. Is that the right word, poacher? But, maybe they're just trying to steal some animals for an illegal zoo. I don't know. But they stole the wrong baby and that's why Bambi's pissed off. Maybe the baby could have been a rare baby. It could have been an albino or something. And they saw it, tried to take it. Oh my God, you guys, listen to me. Look at it. It could have been a golden deer, right? Or something. Something stupid. And then they saw it and they hit the mom, killed the mom, and then Bambi was mad. And so I guess that's why they whacked it with a shovel. and then they took the baby because the baby was like rare and very expensive. And then Bambi woke up and he's like, "Where's my baby?" And that's why he's reckoning. Okay, that's why we got the reckoning. That's why he's pissed. Something stupid. I don't know. See, I just thought of that, and I haven't even taken this shot yet. I'm sober. What were they doing when they wrote this movie? All right, guys, so cheers. Wait. Okay, if you've seen this movie, please let me know in the comments what you thought. I'm interested to see what other people thought. There were these two girls to the right of me who were just cracking up for this whole movie. I was laughing because they were laughing. I know what they were laughing at, and sometimes I'm like, oh my god, that's so stupid. But then this one girl was like, she was enjoying herself. So I can't laugh at her. But like, let me know in the comments what your thoughts if you've seen it. I don't think any of us stayed for like an after credit. Was there an after credit scene? I didn't care to stay to find out. I don't remember if the other movies had one. It probably wasn't. Alright guys, so that was my review of Bambi the Reckoning. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next episode. So, till then, TTFN.